So you're in the real estate business, either selling homes, renting Airbnbs, or servicing real estate somehow. Then your business is about creating profit. So how do you do that? Well, first things first, you need to sell something for the highest price you can within the least amount of time. We all know the best way to do that is with the supply and demand formula, which means that you need to communicate to people that what you have is not like all the rest, and therefore create higher demand for it. Hi, I'm Bert, your favorite marketing expert and real estate photographer. Let's chat about ways to create a higher demand for your real estate services and products. The best way to raise the perceived value is with merchandising. You'll see that we have several videos that go into more detail on the subject. But the simplest way to understand this is that you need to create compelling packaging. And since people buy with their eyes, you need fantastic visuals. Most importantly, you need one image that is stunning. Think of this as the picture on the box for the TV dinner. No one is going to open that box if the visual aid does not get your emotions excited. So the one leading photo you have of your product must be fantastic. It must have depth, beautiful scenery, perhaps a warm sunset. This one photo is by far the most important. In fact, 50% of shoppers will never look past this one photo. So stop taking ugly photos from the driveway with cracked pavement and stains that suck all the energy out of your pictures. Stop hiring cheap photographers who produce cheap-looking marketing, because you'll just end up having to hire a more experienced photographer who understands the difference between snapshots and marketing composition, and you'll end up paying again. In other words, buy the best outcome, not the cheapest photos. Now that we are past the money shot, or this one packaging photo, let's talk about how important it is to prep the property. Number 2. For this, you need to put on your professional marketing hat. You need to insist on educating your homeowners just how important it is to merchandise this property. Your job is to portray the very highest value that you can. And let's face it, buyers and Airbnb guests don't want to have to hassle with things to make them work. And quite frankly, if you expect a buyer to pick up a paintbrush, you're going to lose thousands of them. So things need to get fixed and ready to sell or rent. Everything in good looking and good working order. Step back, look at the house. If a tree is blocking the view of this home, you will have a much harder time selling it. So trim back those trees and shrubs. You might have to get aggressive, but trust me, it's worth thousands of dollars in better value. Now, for the decluttering and depersonalizing. The proper way to do this is to pretend the home is empty. If you were going to properly merchandise this property, ask yourself a few questions. If I hang a picture from our trip to Hawaii from 1982, will that compete well with the new construction down the street that has modern and new merchandising? If I hang up that political or religious decor and alienate half of my potential customers, will that help me sell this place? If I clean off the countertops from this $60,000 kitchen, does it make sense to add a countertop dish tray and a 98-cent roll of paper towel and stick a whole bunch of things on the refrigerator? Now, in case you weren't sure, the answer is, oh, hell no. Every room you declutter and remove oversized furniture from that blocks your path, you create a couple $1,000s of extra value. So it pays very well to properly merchandise. So only bring back in furniture and decor that is stylish and cohesive. Remember, Rent-A-Center, rich relatives, and you store it units are your friend. Now on to number 3, the most important step. Here's a newsflash. You don't create the selling price for this property. But, and this is a big J-Lo but, your homeowner does not create the proper selling price either. No, market research dictates what the proper selling price should be. And that research indicates several prices. The first price is as is, and that's very low. because no one wants to clean up your mess and deferred maintenance. Now the mid-price range is still pretty low because you only took care of the cosmetic things, but the deferred maintenance and perceived value were not addressed or staged. And both of these pricing strategies have a lot of hidden costs because the property spends many more weeks and months on the market. And this just creates more mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, gas, electric, cable, and other utility bills to pile up, as well as attracting low-ball offers. But according to our comparison prices of what buyers in our market actually wrote checks for recently, this research shows the very highest price and shortest days on the market. So with that in mind, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, which price point do you want to work towards? So in summary, here's how you sell a house quick. Number 1, merchandising and marketing for the highest perceived value. Number 2, proper decluttering, repairs, and staging. And number 3, correct pricing set by the market, not the realtor and not the homeowner. I can already see you developing the tools to educate your customers for a more profitable image. Now you can sell with more confidence, so go get them. Cheers.